AITA for refusing to give up my front row spot at a concert to someone claiming to be disabled? A couple of weeks ago, I traveled to another country to see an artist I've adored for 6 years. This was a once-in-a-lifetime experience for me, and I had been waiting months for it. I sacrificed a lot, both financially and mentally, to make it happen. Since it was my first and probably only time seeing them, I went all out. I bought general admission tickets and arrived at the venue at 5 a.m., even though the doors wouldn't open until later that evening. I waited all day in the freezing cold, hungry and dehydrated, but it was worth it. When the doors finally opened, I secured a front row spot right up against the stage. This was my dream spot. Then, a guy behind me tapped me on the shoulder and told me he was disabled. He mentioned that the venue was supposed to let disabled attendees in early, but they hadn't. He asked if I could give him my spot at the barricade. Here's the thing. I know this venue is very accommodating for disabled attendees. I have friends with disabilities who've gone to shows here, and the staff always ensures they get to the front row safely during a designated time. Now, I'm quite short, and this guy was extremely tall. If I gave him my spot, I wouldn't be able to see anything at all because he would completely block my view. I would have been willing to move if he weren't so tall, or if I could still see from the second row. But in this case, I knew I'd lose the view I had waited more than 10 hours for. I tried to compromise. I pointed out that the right side of the barricade was still open and suggested he go there. Since he was so tall, he'd still have a great view and could hold on to the rail for support. However, he refused, insisting that the view wasn't as good as where I was. As we talked, that section filled up, and he became more insistent. He said he'd have a hard time if he couldn't take my spot. At this point, I got frustrated and explained a few things. If his disability was that serious, he should be in the accessible section, which is specifically designed for attendees with disabilities. If he insisted on being in the standing section, he should have brought a support aid, like a cane. I'd seen someone kneel by with one. I also mentioned that if he spoke to security, they could escort him to the front row disabled seating, which has a fantastic view and is much more accommodating. After hearing this, he called me names and left. I feel like he just wanted my spot and wasn't being truthful. The venue offers several options for disabled attendees, and I tried to direct him to alternatives. I feel bad for saying no, but I don't think it was fair for him to ask me to sacrifice my entire experience. So, AITA.